Hey everybody, thanks for tuning in to j76 Gaming. I am Jimmy Wild, and this is the Wildcast. All right, hey everybody, welcome back to Wildcast episode 2, and this week featuring this lovely zit that just decided to show up on my nose yesterday, so that was pretty cool. I thought I was out of high school. I thought this stuff didn't happen when you're an adult, but anyway, there's bigger things in the world to worry about than this, I suppose. But anyway, so just quick reminder, this will be primarily uncut, unscripted. We're just kind of talking out loud, and I am just talking out loud to you guys listening, and yeah, we'll try to just see where it goes. Quick follow-up from last week. If you remember, I was talking about how I was playing too much Final Fantasy, and I didn't get to the other games that I wanted to play last week. Well, that kind of happened again. Lots of Final Fantasy. Still didn't touch Final Fantasy Star. Still didn't touch Xenoblade Chronicles. So, who knows? Another week coming. Maybe I'll get to them. But anyway, so yeah. So let's touch on Final Fantasy real quick. So we got the June update, and the only thing that's really interesting this week, or actually I'd probably say it's controversial, but anyway, for those of you that don't know, Final Fantasy 11 and most of the online games have problems with people go in and bot, and they just automate their characters, and then they farm up in-game currency and sell it for real money traders, RMTs. But yeah, but Final Fantasy 11, it's 18 years old, and there were still dozens, hundreds of bots on each server, and they were farming this in-game currency. They were kind of exploiting, a farm item, buy item, sell item kind of thing. So they put a weekly cap on it. So now what you used to be infinite is now 100,000 sparks that you can get and then trade in for items, which then you can sell. So it's kind of one of those things where I actually noticed immediately. I was out looking I've been looking every now and again into CZAC Battlefield, whatever, CZAC, right outside of Alduin, and there's no bots. So I don't know if it's working, at least temporarily, because no matter what you do, these guys are still going to be around. RMTs are still going to be around. They're always going to be there. So they'll find some other way to make money and exploit the game. But whatever. At least for now, the bots are gone from CZAC as far as I've noticed. Yeah, but of course then the downside for people like normal players is what you used to be able to get as much money as you wanted, and now you're limited to what basically equates to 1 million gil per week per character, which you really don't need more than 1 million gil per week per character, let's be fair. But it was nice to have the option to get more. But if we get rid of some bots and I have to limit my income, I think it's a fair trade-off. But anyway, anyway, so yeah, so that's it. That's it for Final Fantasy. Let's kind of skip to the other. I don't know if you guys noticed, there has been a little bit of big gaming news. oh my god, it's a PlayStation 5. First of all, whoa, is that thing cool looking? So I think I must declare that I am primarily a PC gamer, but I do not discriminate. I will play any console that is out there. But yeah, wow, this thing's cool looking. Yeah, pretty cool. But we'll see. We'll see how it runs. Like, it looks pretty sweet. The reveal had me a little bit. The reveal of this looks completely blew me away. The reveal of the specs were kind of like, okay. It was really kind of 50-50. So, I think, well, you know what? I'll talk about the console later. I'm going to talk about the games first. So, I watched like all the games trailers coming up in the presentation earlier this week, and I mean, I have to say, like, how long was that presentation? Like an hour? And for the vast majority of that thing, I was just like, okay, I guess that looks cool, but it's not for me. There's like nothing for me. I did take a couple of notes on a couple of the games though. Trying to think here. So I'm just going to go over the ones that I just have notes on that I don't want to actually specifically talk about. So like, I think the biggest shocking one, as far as graphics goes, was the NBA 2K21. And that was the first time. I know everyone's talking about the sweat. Like, look at the sweat. Look how crazy it is. And I'm like, okay, fair enough. But to me, what always bugs me about sports games is you still look pretty robotic when you're playing it. Like, your character still looks pretty robotic. And from what I saw, it looks pretty smooth and pretty human-like. So, I don't know. I mean, I'm still not going to get it. I don't play sports games anymore. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. So we'll see how that goes. So a couple other games like Demon Souls. Sure, I mean, that game looks badass. It's not something I really want to play. Deathloop, same thing. Looks really cool, but probably not for me. Resident Evil Village, like, that's not for me, but it might be for me. I don't know. We'll see. It might be one of those game day decisions where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy it, but we'll see. Yeah, what else was there? So Pragmata, I can't even remember what it was. All I did was write it down in my notes. It just said WTF. So here you go. But yeah. But anyway, so let's go to a couple of games I do want to like kind of talk about a little bit more. This, what is it? Kenna, Bridge of Spirits. This looks amazingly beautiful. Like, this is, I mean, this is what I want a game to look like. It's really beautiful. And the NPCs, like the characters are adorable. But yeah, I mean, just look how beautiful it is. Like, look at the environment, just crazy. Love it. So I mean, I don't even know if this is something that I would consider my style of game, as in, do I want to play this? But I'm probably going to get it just because it looks awesome and I want to see more of it. So yeah, and plus, I mean, if you hit me with, hey, check out this indie game. I'm kind of a sucker for indie games. I'm not going to lie. I know I talk about and play a lot of big budget AAA games, but when I go to PAX, I spend more time in the indie mega booth than I do anywhere else. So, so yeah, I love me some indie games. So I'm going to go ahead and say this is the most likely. This is, yeah, you know what? No, this is a guaranteed. I'm buying it. Whatever. Doesn't matter. When it comes out, I'm getting it. I'm going to play it and get some time in there. So the other one, Godfall. I don't know. Like, it looks amazing, but and I love Gearbox. I mean, I think they're publisher. They didn't develop, but I don't know. This would probably be one of those games where enough people that I know are playing it that'll probably end up getting it. But I don't know. Like, what are my notes listed? My notes from the presentation were, Godfall looks gorgeous, but is it fun? ? So we'll see. Hopefully. And okay, so like I said, most of the presentation, I was just like, this looks like another game that I don't really want to play. And then, boom, Horizon Forbidden West. Now, disclaimer, I did not finish the first Horizon, and that's on me. I didn't do it, but I really like it, and I will get back to it at some point. But holy crap, this was the first time that I kind of like mini wooed about in the whole presentation. I'm pretty pumped for this. And I think the good thing is like if PlayStation is coming out holiday, we're June 14th now, so I got plenty of time to knock out the first Horizon and all the expansions or whatever, or maybe not the expansions, who knows, but before we get the second one. So maybe I'll have to fire up the old PlayStation again. But yeah, that's another one of those that like the gameplay is fun and it's beautiful. I mean, it's just gorgeous. And I have to imagine that PlayStation 5 is going to be even more amazing looking. So yeah, so that'll be sweet. I think if, I'm not one for New Year's resolutions, but I think maybe my New Year's resolution this year should be less Final Fantasy 11 and more of the other games. Especially, we'll talk about this in a second, but especially if you got to drop $500-600 on a PlayStation, maybe you should use it, play the games on it. I don't know. Call me crazy. Actually, where's my other one? There's another game I want to talk about. I remember why. I can find it because, let's get this up here. Project Athia, whatever, the Square Enix title. And there wasn't like a really cool page with some images, so I took some screenshots of the trailer. I'm pretty excited about this. To be clear, I'm kind of a Square Enix fanboy. Yeah. So, I mean, if it's Square Enix, it's already kind of getting a +1. But yeah, this one was gorgeous, I think. So, like, I mean, take a look at this environment. Like, look at the detail here. This is crazy. And I want to jump into this game. I want to jump in there and I want to play it, and I hope that it's amazing. And I hope that I'm not putting too much pressure on this game to be amazing, because I want it to be amazing. But anyway, this is kind of hard to see, but like at the end, you get that little dragon. You're like, ooh, hey, what's up? What's that going to be? What that's going to be like? Am I fighting that? Is that in a cutscene? What is it? What's happening? I can't wait. So, yeah. So this is actually, I'm hyping myself up a little bit more just talking about it. So anyway, but this was probably the money shot of the trailer. Like, come on, look how awesome that looks. Like, that's, I think I'm gonna set that as a background in my or the wallpaper on my computer. Like, just look at it. Like, how cool does that look? Yeah, kind of like it. But anyway, so that's kind of the highlights for me of the PlayStation 5 Reveal stuff. So let's kind of look back. What do we got? That Kena Bridge of Spirits, the indie game, looks good. A lot of games look good, but I probably won't play. Horizon Forbidden West, definitely. That's a definite buy. Project Athia, whatever it ends up being called, is a definite buy. And yeah, I think that's it. But so for the console itself, though, kind of in a debate. Like, well, I think, first of all, I'll buy whatever is available. But I think I want, like, look how cool the digital one looks. Like, the symmetry is so much nicer than the one with the disk drive. But I'm a physical media guy. I kind of want that disc. So I don't know. It might, like I said, it might be whatever is available. If I have the choice, I'll probably get the one with the disk drive, though. Oh yeah, because considering if it's actually a 4K Blu-ray player, depending on if it has Dolby Vision support and the HDR10 Plus, I think it's called, that might be handy because that would save me from getting a new Blu-ray player also. Yeah, so I think that'll definitely be the target, is the disk drive. But like I said, it'll be, because I want it day one. I'm that guy. I want it day one. Gimme. So whatever's available, I'll probably end up buying. But yeah. So another thing, there's been a lot of price speculation. Speaking of buying it day one, when I saw the presentation, I thought immediately, I was like, this is $600. Like, that was just where my mind went. I was like, $600. And then this kind of came up earlier today when, Buddy posted something about this, and I was like, oh yeah, the PlayStation 3 launched at $600, and it was kind of, I don't know, like, it was still selling out for sure, and there was still tons of markup in like eBay markets. But yeah, I mean, like, we're in the middle. We have like 40 million unemployed people right now. Is Sony really going to launch it at like 600, 700? I think that was one of the things. Like I said, my buddy posted something earlier about it today. Like, they had PlayAsia had these listed for like $700. So I don't know. Like, I don't know what it's going to cost, but I think 500 sounds right. But I would not be surprised if it's 600. But yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, there's so many people right now that, it's just like PlayStation 5 isn't even an option. And then there's so many people that are like scraping together, like, okay, maybe I can get a PlayStation if it's $500, but not if it's $600. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking too much into this, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. I think basically, I mean, I'm probably going to buy it no matter what it costs, because I don't have a family. I don't have a wife and kids to worry about, and I am definitely financially irresponsible, so I'll get it no matter what. But yeah, I think it's going to be an interesting question for a lot of people. So we'll see. Hopefully cheaper the better. But yeah, okay, so I think we covered all the PlayStation 5 stuff I wanted to talk about. Not exactly. So, comparison. So, IGN has this nice spec comparison. And like I said, I'm a PC gamer, so I want... I don't necessarily care what the specs are of a console. But the more the better, right? give me the closest thing as you can to a PC, and I'll be happier. But I mean, really, I don't know, man. I don't know what to think about this, because I mean, like I said, I don't want to pick a side because I'm a PC guy, but it's an interesting situation we got. The PlayStation wins hands down in the data transfer. Like, if that is legit, and if they're loading, I mean, if they're basically instantaneously loading stuff, it's pretty amazing. But I mean, the Xbox isn't that far behind. Well, according to this, it's half, right? It's 5. Let's see, what is Sony is 5.5 gigabytes per second, and Xbox is 2.4. Okay, so less than half. Okay, so maybe it is far behind, but still, if it's 2.5 gigs, if it's 2 seconds to load versus 1, it's way better than like 40 seconds or whatever crazy numbers are happening right now. So maybe that's not as big of an edge for Sony, but I'm still going to give Sony the lead here in that aspect. You know, graphically though, I love what Xbox is doing. They're just like horsepower. We're just throwing horsepower at it, and that is my solution to every PC that I built. And it was like, what do I need? I need this. Okay, here's what I'm going to do then. Way up here. You know? So yeah, so throwing horsepower at it is what I want. That's what I want to see. And plus, I'm a little bit of an underdog guy sometimes. And it's a little bit of a redemption story too, because I was so pissed. I don't like as pissed as you can be at an organization. I was so pissed at Microsoft and Xbox for what the abomination that the first Xbox One was. And I was like, it's basically like a DVR that also plays games. And I was like, you're a game console. Remember your roots. I was so angry. And that's why I never ended up buying one. I never bought a Xbox until way late in the game, until the One X's came out. And I was like, oh, okay, now you remember what you're doing. You play games. And you throw horsepower at it, which is what the X does. So I was like, okay, sweet. I will say too that Sony has an edge historically in this generation in the user interface. Definitely user interface. But Xbox is coming along. Like, there's been a couple of updates, and I don't remember the timing of it, but in the past couple of, let's say, few months, or let's just say this year, whatever, where the UI is getting better. Like, it's not atrocious anymore. So I think the edge is still in Sony for sure, but the Xbox, not terrible. Yeah, I'm gonna stick with that. If I had to pick one, I think I would still like the PlayStation, but I can live with the Xbox for sure. Yeah, so what else we got? Yeah, like I said, throwing horsepower at it. The GPU, 12 teraflops versus 10.28 teraflops. I don't know. Until I see different, 12 is greater than 10. You know, until I see the performance. So I'm definitely going to give the edge to the Xbox there. But storage, yeah, the storage is kind of a kick in the pants, but then it's also not. So like the Sony with their super custom 825 gigabyte SSD, I was like, that's like what? By the time you take system stuff, I mean, you're going to fit like what, 3 games on there? 4 games? I mean, realistically, you got some big games right now already in the PlayStation 4 era, and then you want to go up into this higher graphics. In a PlayStation 5, I mean, come on. Yeah, that's just not going to cut it. So that sucks. But I do appreciate they have an NVMe slot to expand. So if you got the dollars and you want to throw like a 2 terabyte SSD in there, now granted you're basically doubling the cost of your console, but you're going to get a fast storage solution there. So I don't know, whatever. But yeah, but compared to the Xbox, so the Xbox has got a 1 terabyte NVMe, which is better, but I mean, still, even at a terabyte, we're still talking about 5 or 6 games, 7 games of like the big ones, right? I mean, like your indie games are not that big, but we're talking AAA stuff here. Yeah. And then what do they got for expansion? Okay, so here's something that drives me crazy. External storage, Xbox Series X, Seagate proprietary external expansion. You said the P word. I hate that word. I hate proprietary. Ugh. God, that makes me sick. Yeah, so that's like my one big huge red flag to the Xbox Series X. So we'll see what else comes of it, but yeah, no proprietary. Yeah, let's get that out of there. Whew, anyways, I went to a dark spot right there. we gotta liven it and lighten it back up here. So anyway, so I'm gonna try to get both of these consoles, definitely. But I think I know that most of my friends will get a PlayStation, so I would, if I had to choose just one, it's probably going to have to be a PlayStation, because like I said, my friends will have it. But if you factor all friends out, I think I want to go with an Xbox. I love the extra horsepower and bigger numbers. I'm a sucker for it. But anyway, I think we've kind of talked about consoles enough. Let's talk about some PC stuff. Ba-boom! New graphics cards. Talking about horsepower. Ooh. Oh, man. Okay. So, yeah. So, some big leaks on the new Nvidia cards. The 3000 series. So, historically, I buy the X80 Ti version of whatever Nvidia releases. So starting, I don't know, God, what was this? 2013, 2012 maybe? 2013? I can't remember. But anyway, starting with the 7 series. So I had 2 of the 780 Ti's. And then I went to the 9 series. I went to 2 980 Ti's. And then I was like, I am sick of buying 2 graphics cards every year because they're expensive. I mean, because we're talking, those are like $600 or $700 a piece, right? So then you're looking at, by the time you get your tax and shipping, you're looking at $1,500. And most games don't even do SLI right, you know? So I was like, here I'm spending $1,500 a year or every 2 years on graphics cards, and I'm like, that sucks. So when the 1080 Ti came out, I got one of those for like, I don't know, what was it, $750, $800, whatever it was, I can't remember. And I was like, I'm only buying one, screw you. So then what happens in the 20 series? They're back to $1,300, $1,400 or whatever. I'm like, God, come on, you guys are just gonna take all of the money. But I mean, they're definitely not buying 2 of anything now, right? I'm not dropping $3,000 on video cards. Like, get out of here. So anyway, so my point of complaining about that is, you know, these cards are going to be expensive, like unbelievably expensive, because look what happened with the 2080 Ti's. So here I am complaining about the price. It's sold out all the time. Like, you can't buy them. It's not like one of those things is like, you know what, I'm going to buy a video card today. and then you go and buy a 2080 Ti. It just doesn't happen. Like, for the first the first year, you couldn't buy one without camping the website and be like, refresh. So of course they're going to upgrade the price. Of course it's going to be $1,500 for a 3080 Ti or whatever it is, or whatever they end up calling them. Ugh. But I'm to blame because I'm the one that's there. Refresh, buy. What are you gonna do? Need that horsepower. And like I said before, I don't have a wife to sit there and go, don't do that. So I do it. Stupid Jess. Anyway. Yeah. But anyway. I don't know if this has got I remember what I want to talk about. The cooler. Like, apparently everyone's up in arms about the cooler on this because it has fans on both sides, intake air on one side, output air on the other side. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Why would you do that? I don't know, maybe because it's a better design. Do you want your stuff to be cooler? I mean, come on. I know everyone wants to outrage over everything, but this is not the fight to have, because a ton of the people that are complaining about the cooler design are going to take it off, this guy, and put a water block on it anyway. So who cares? Who cares what the cooler looks like? And I keep thinking of more things. What are the aftermarket cards going to do? What are the third party? What's an EVGA? I mean, like, I love EVGA. I'm an EVGA fanboy for sure. But I don't, as far as I'm concerned, some stuff like MSI and like Asus, like they don't make video cards. It's only EVGA. So what is their cooler going to look like? And then once again, do I even care? Because it's coming off for a water block. So who cares? Anyway, the point is, find something else to complain about, internet. But yeah, I don't have much of the specs here. So what were the specs? Let's see. Here we are. The new cards could deliver more than 21 teraflops of performance, besting the 12 of the Series X, and I think, but 21 isn't that big of a jump compared to, I want to say, I'm probably making these numbers up, so forgive me, but I want to say the 2080 Ti's right now, it can push 14, 15 teraflops. Okay, yeah, so I guess that's still a decent jump, 15 to 21. But yeah, compared to an Xbox, that's a silly comparison though, because you're talking about let's say the Xbox is $500. You're talking about an entire system for $500, and you're talking about a $1,500 video card, allegedly $1,500. So I mean, that's a silly comparison, but it does put it into perspective, I guess. But like I said, go back to the 2080 Ti. Like, let's just say 14 or 15 teraflops. Now you're gonna have an Xbox with 12. That's pretty good. I'll take that. I mean, that's in the like 2080 Super range. So I mean, that's an $800 card there. So you're talking about an $800 video card versus a $500 console. So anyway, I don't know. I'm just rambling now. I don't even know what I'm talking about. Video cards. Gimme. But yeah. Anyway, that's it. I think we're done. We're at 34 minutes. I think that's enough time. Spent enough time rambling about dumb stuff. So I will just go ahead and end it, and I will talk to you guys later.